Hey guys, this is Jason Oda, and on this day, 5 years ago, I made like a hashtag related to one person that made a few Flash games on the internet that pretty much everybody forgot about it, which is why I did the hashtag to bring it back into the spotlight to see more people remember, because when I checked, there was like barely any footage about it. It all started with one game, but it was all done by one person, and that person's name was Jason Oda. And when I wrote the hashtag don't forget Jason Oda's old games, this was when I ended up starting the whole movement with this thing, all the way up to Flash's end in 2020. So, anyways, here we're gonna talk about the entire history about this whole thing, and by that, I'm gonna explain basically how it all began and basically how it all ended. So, anyways, let us begin with this history about how 5 years later and a look back. It's basically just what I'm calling it right now. Where the hashtag began all the way in November, I didn't fully get started this until I replayed one of my all-time favorite childhood games, 76 Honk or Not Game. When I first brought that back into memory, I noticed that there wasn't enough footage of the game being shown on YouTube, and I decided to actually do myself a favor and actually find it, which took around a couple of hours to do. And when I did, I went out to do a live stream of it in March of 2019, to which it was very pixelated by the quality, but later on I did an actual version, an actual one later on, but that's a different story. But anyways, that kind of spawned to me to look at the creator and see like the other games he did, which I also did a video on the Beyond one, which was supposed to be an AVGN parody of it. But over time, the hashtag didn't really begin until I realized that Flash was going to end next year, but I was thinking that maybe this would end in around January 1st, 2020, but it was actually in the end of 2020, but this was when I decided I should actually acknowledge him by sending him an email about this message, and he did respond to it, which I did not take that lightly, and so that's why the hashtag was made, because he said that when he originally said it, he said that he just wanted to bury it, just let the past and just let it be forgotten and just move on, which is why I didn't want that to happen, because I think it should be preserved. But that's the reason why all this began, to which later on I did a follow-up to which he actually did respond to the video and actually left a comment on that video, to which that kind of spawned to let me continue on with the hashtag all the way up in 2020 until around March is where all of this changed, to where I started this particular series that would ended up changing the hashtag forever. So around February 2020, just a few weeks before the pandemic fully began, and that was when I announced that I would be doing a whole month dedicated to playing all 10 Jason Oda's games called Jason Oda Month, which is why all of this began a month on by playing through all 10 games from all the way up to March 4th, 2020, which is the 1 year anniversary of the live stream, and all the way up to April 4th, 2020, where I played the last game, Skrillex Quest. And keep in mind, this was when the pandemic happened, so basically all of this was all done in the pandemic, so during and before and after, by the way. So anyways, when I did it, it was mostly just average fine. So a few things that happened during this is where all this kind of happened. So yeah, to be honest, this is pretty much how it all went. So yeah, it was a fun thing to do by playing through all these games, and it did fine. So anyways, and after that, we just move on from it and talk about some other things, and especially acknowledging Perfect Strangers just randomly being removed from the website and just being gone and forever. So I had to send an email about it, in which I got really upset about it. And afterwards, he did mention the exe files, so he would convert them, but as of today, I don't know if he actually did it or not. I never bothered asking him about it. So if you ever watched this video, have you ever did it before? And so let me know. So anyways, yeah, that's then that's pretty much how the month went and the aftermath. So, and afterwards, I'm hoping that the rest of the year went well until. You might have noticed something a little off about this event after it happened, was because a little bit I decided to talk about the other Jason Oda games I wasn't mentioning, like Emo game and the Weezer one, which was new by the time this was happening, but those aren't really important because I just want to talk about it. But mostly everything happened until like 4 months or a couple later that I just forgot about it, and then around September I had to acknowledge what happened during that time, so which explained why I kind of forgot about it. Besides, I'm busy with other videos during the time, so, and mostly with the pandemic, and that's why, but that's a different story. So anyways, this kind of led on to all the way until like around near the end of the year, which is where I decided to make one last hurrah for it by just by playing through all 10 games in one video, and then after that ending it all off on the end on December 2020, where I decided I just say one last message as a thank you for acknowledging it and actually supporting the movement that I made all these years ago, and decided to just conclude the hashtag DontForgetJasonodasOldGames forever. Well, it's been 5 years since I started this hashtag, and now it's time to answer the most important question of all time. Was it a success? Well, let's find out. So, any of you have heard of Flashpoint? So, after Flash ended, they had a program called Flashpoint, which the goal was to archive as much as Flash's games they have, and they archived a lot of good ones. But the question is, did they archive those 10 games? Well, I got good news for you. They actually did archive all those 10 games. And yes, Perfect Strangers is one of them, so Perfect Strangers is not lost forever, which is a good sign. But the downside is the hotel one, the Clay Yourself is not even in it, as far as I know, so yeah, so I think that game is pretty much lost weekend. So anyways, there was like included some other games that Jason Oda has made, a lot of Jason Oda games that he hasn't made during Flash time, so, which is shocking to see that I haven't even heard about it. But the good thing is I might thought about bringing this month back for this, but we'll see. But anyways, now it's time to answer the most important question of all, is how is Jason Oda doing lately? Well, he did make a website about coffee, but that doesn't really count. But have you ever noticed he also made like a game that he made, like, this was when the hashtag was the thing, which is called Waking and Continue 9876510. Yeah, that's really the title of the game. But it is on Steam right now, and the Waking is on Xbox, but I have not played the game yet, so I don't know. But I mean, if you want to play it yourself, I'll probably put it in the description below for those two games, even though they're pretty much obsolete on my MacBook, but whatever. So anyways, overall, this is pretty much what I can safely say, that yeah, this kind of this hashtag did lead an impact on me, and mostly Jason's life, because mostly, if you look at his channel, he actually did acknowledge those games that he actually did, but some of the games that he did, but not all 10 of them, but you can clearly tell, even though Emo Game is the one he wanted to disassociate with, but it is on Flashpoint if you want to play it yourself, which it's gonna be hard to do because for me to do a gameplay on that because of reasons. But if you see the game, if you play the game, you need to why. But anyways, overall, that's pretty much it for this video. This is pretty much a look back of how I started this movement and how it ended up becoming what it is today. So yeah, if you want to play the games yourself, they're on Flashpoint, and you might as well. I have a playlist of it right here if you want to get it, but I'm probably gonna have to figure that out. But yeah, I can actually show you the games that it has right now, but yeah, you can make it yourself. So anyways, I hope you guys, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys now enjoy this video. Comment, subscribe, and Jason Oda, if you're watching this, thanks for those Flash games. Yeah, and I'll probably play those other games that you probably didn't know that you made. So Anyways, that's pretty much it, so I'll see y'all later. Bye!